Welcome to another episode of the Meal Prep Monday podcast. I'm your host and founder of Prep Dish, Allison Schaaf. Today's episode, I am giving you a quick personal update and then talking about protein. I know in January we talked a lot about protein and just wanted to let you know kind of where things are going when it comes to protein and Prep Dish for the foreseeable future. Before we get into the episode, I actually wanted to read from our Facebook group, a message that Anna posted. She said, "Hey y'all, did my first week with prep on Sunday and it has made this week so easy for breakfast and dinner. I'm converted. I love how easy this is and how it saves us all time, energy, and money. Plus, my son gets to watch me cook. He sliced a few carrots for me." And then I also want to read one of the responses by Melissa. She said that Prep Dish has been such a game changer for me. I literally bought a flex door fridge that you can use one of the bottom halves as a freezer or more fridge space. That spot is my dedicated Prep Dish zone. I am dedicated. Haha. So thank you, Anna and Melissa, for sharing. If you would like to try out Prep Dish, we have a free trial set up for you at prepdish.com/mpm. You get 2 weeks free. This is a great way to just give it a try like Anna did and see if it's a fit for you. Again, that's prepdish.com/mpm. And I will include a link to our Facebook group in the show notes. That's for our members, but anyone that wants to sign up. So if you kind of want to get a sense for Prep Dish or hear what people are saying about us or see pictures of meals, January is a fun time. We've had a lot of people posting over the past month pictures of their Prep Dish meals, which can always be sort of inspirational and motivational. So if you want to check that out, feel free to join us over there as well. Well, let's get into the episode today. This is a little bit more of a real-time episode for two reasons. One, I wanted a real-time update. And then two, the first time I recorded this, it didn't record. That's happened a time or two. And when I share my news, you probably will not be surprised. But we are officially here at the Schaaf household, a family of 5. We welcomed baby boy Tovin into our family in December. So we now have 3 little boys. As I'm recording this, it's 5, 3, and maybe 5 or 6 weeks. So yeah, life just got a whole lot different, but it has been so much fun. And the transition from 2 to 3, it's been a lot, but it's been, each transition is so different. Each baby is so different. And I think I've come to expect that. I'm a little more seasoned, right? Like I've gone through it twice. And I think I know enough to know that each baby is different. So I just kind of have accepted that and kind of roll with how he is. And my goodness, he's just so sweet. If you want to see photos, I posted some on Instagram a few weeks ago. So there is a post there. And then if you're on our newsletter, I'm going to make the official announcement either, I think right before this episode airs. Tovin came to us through adoption, much like his older brother. It was a bit of a whirlwind with some kind of, I guess I want to say surprises along the way. It was a very last minute trip that we took to go and meet him when he was born and spent the holidays as well as Ivan's birthday out of state in an Airbnb trying to figure out how to throw together a Christmas and a birthday. And we made it work. It was memorable for sure. I am probably going to share more about the story kind of as time goes on. A lot of that I usually share over on the nonprofit Miscarriage Hope Desk, either on the podcast there or the other update that I was going to share today is one, I'm getting into Substack. This is kind of off topic because I don't think right now that I'm going to do anything Prep Dish wise on Substack. It's really more for some of the Miscarriage Hope Desk work that I do related to fertility and miscarriage. Substack is a platform that's sort of a cross between a newsletter and a blog where you can post. And so I'm going to start out there, but I did want to throw it out there because I am curious if some of you that listen here are on Substack, if it's a thing that you're into, if so, and if there's something Prep Dish related that you think would be cool on there, let me know. Again, no real plans right now, but I've had fun kind of exploring that platform. And that leads into sort of a personal update too, is that I am in the middle of writing a memoir. I started writing last summer, and I'm not sure if I mentioned it on this podcast or not. So more to come as the year goes on, but that's just something that's really been getting me, I guess, energized. I don't know. The words have just kind of flown right out of me. And That's something that's been a little bit put on pause right now with baby, but still definitely in the works. And like I said, more to come as the year goes on. Gosh, I'm trying to think if there's any other personal updates. I think that's kind of about it. I mean, that's a pretty big one. So I'm sure you'll be seeing some baby wearing as I'm doing my meal prep on Instagram and different things like that. But gosh, it's just been so fun. And so transitioning into the protein topic, one thing I will say is over the last few weeks, something that's really saved us, and I know I've mentioned this over the years, but having those prep dish meal plans has been so helpful. And I've loved that even through all this kind of craziness of having a newborn, we have still sat down for a dinner every night and, a nice, tasty, healthy meal. We've had my dad came in and visit. My brother-in-law came in to visit. We kind of had to figure out some help. Just my husband was away traveling and just getting some help in for the older two boys and having those meal plans to make sure I was able to still get food on the table has been really helpful. And I have been using kind of a combo of some super fast. I'm doing, some testing. I think I've been testing out some May meal plans, and my mind is not thinking to tease you with some of the dishes, but oh my goodness, there are some really tasty, super fast meals coming up in May. But I've also been doing some of the protein boost meal plans that if you listen to the podcast at all in January, we talked a lot about those. And the good news is a lot of you really love those plans. So that's great. I'm glad that they got such a good response. I know getting more protein is on a lot of people's minds these days for a variety of reasons. And we want to continue to support you on that. So we, have those 4 protein boost menus that we did for January. And then as we go on, right now the plan is not to do dedicated protein boost meal plans, but what we're doing instead is I've taken a step back. I actually spent some time reviewing all of the super fast and paleo meal plans for February and looking, as a premium subscriber, you do have access to nutrition facts. So I've been looking at the nutrition facts for those meal plans to see, are these meal plans hitting that 30-gram mark, which seems to be on average kind of the goal that most people are shooting for. And the answer is yes. Most of those meals are hitting the mark. And that's great. That means that, those plans are going to be really helpful for those of you that are looking to focus a little more on protein. But what I'm planning to do for the month of February is to each week do a little video, do a little kind of tutorial of like, hey, here's the meal plans, here's the meals that hit the 30 grams, and then the 1 or 2 that fall short. Give some ideas on how to hit 30 grams. And honestly, sometimes it's not even doing anything different. It's just realizing if it falls at 25 grams, maybe you just have a little bigger portion size and your kids eat a smaller portion size of the protein that's called for, and you're going to get to the 30 grams. Sometimes it's a little bit more of an art than a science with these things. So if you are a subscriber, just pull up the most recent newsletter. There should be the first video, and I'm going to do those for every Friday in February. And I'm going to post it in Facebook group as well so that I can get feedback from all of you if that is indeed helpful. We're just trying to figure out kind of what's the best way to support you with these protein goals. So some other things we're going to do is we have some blog posts that are going to come out with roundups of especially breakfast. I've heard from a lot of you that breakfast can be a struggle. And I'm also going to do some Instagram reels with some of the high protein breakfasts that I've been putting together. So, if you're not following along, make sure it's at Prep Dish and look for those coming out throughout the month of February and, maybe some lunch and snack ideas as well. So that's what we have coming up for the protein. I think this will be a really good way to support you guys all on that. And, there may or may not be a challenge related to protein. We don't have the dates on that, but that's definitely something that's on our minds as well. Just really want to make sure that we're, again, helping all of you where you want to, be helped. So if you do have feedback, though, definitely if you're in our Facebook group or reach out, email or Instagram or whatever, and just let us know kind of what can be most useful for you if you're a Prep Dish user and making sure that we do that. Okay, so that's protein coming up. And then just where this podcast is going. I think I've mentioned a few times that we are doing interviews this year. I have, on average, about one interview a month is the plan. And then the rest will be sort of these solo episodes that I've always done historically. Next week, we have Sarah Hart-Unger. So with most of the interviews, how it's going to work is like have the interview and have it kick off sort of a mini series. So whatever that interview topic is about, then we'll have kind of the rest of the episodes for the month be on that topic. So next week, Sarah is going to talk about planning. And then for the rest of the month, I'm going to have a few other episodes, a little mini series on planning, and really looking forward to that. One other thing that she does talk about in that episode is at the end, she's also a prep dish user. So she talks about how she uses prep dish in her life, like the really kind of small stuff that, well, I always wonder about, how does she do grocery shopping? She's a full-time physician as well as a blogger and podcaster. So she has a lot on her plate, but she goes through like, how do I do my grocery shopping? How she sometimes does the prep, but sometimes she hands it off to her nanny, and how she puts it on her calendar, and what they, just all of the little things of how she makes it work. So that was a really interesting behind the scenes look at prep dish in the real world. So really looking forward to you guys hearing that episode next week. And yeah, just thank you for being here. Really looking forward to 2024. As always, if you're a longtime listener to this podcast and you have not left a rating and review, those just really help other people to find our podcast. So I would appreciate those. And then one last reminder that if you would like to try out our meal plans, if you are looking to get enough protein in your diet in 2024, or if you're just wanting to get healthy, tasty food on the table each night in an easy, calm manner, then go to prepdish.com/MPM. Try it out for 2 weeks, see how it goes. That is all I have for this week. I will be back again next week with my interview with Sarah.